Lately, you may have noticed a surge in headlines, social media posts, and even conversations among friends and family about a supposed $5,200 stimulus payment. The topic has been everywhere, on television, in online articles, and especially across social media platforms, where rumors can spread quickly and easily. It's understandable that people are curious and even hopeful, especially in times when financial relief is a hot topic and many are looking for support. The idea of receiving a $5,200 check from the government is certainly appealing. Images of checks and stacks of cash have been circulating, fueling the belief that this money is on its way to millions of Americans. Some posts even show what appear to be official documents or screenshots, making the rumor seem even more convincing. On social media, it's easy to find people claiming that these payments are coming soon, with some even sharing specific dates or instructions on how to claim your money. These posts often get shared thousands of times, spreading the rumor even further and making it seem more credible than it actually is. In workplaces, living rooms, and group chats, people are talking about whether this is part of a new government program or if it's tied to recent economic changes. Some believe it's a new round of stimulus, while others think it's a special benefit for certain groups. But let's set the record straight. There are currently no confirmed $5,200 stimulus checks being issued by the federal government. No official announcement has been made, and no legislation has been passed to authorize such payments. If you're expecting a $5,200 payment to arrive in your mailbox or bank account on April 25th, you will be disappointed. There is no scheduled payment for that date. The same goes for May 3rd or any other date you may have seen online. These dates are not based on any real government plan or official schedule. At this moment, the story of a $5,200 stimulus check is just that, a rumor. It's a piece of misinformation that has taken on a life of its own, spreading from person to person without any factual basis. In today's digital world, it's more important than ever to be cautious about the information you see online. Scammers and misinformation can easily take advantage of people's hopes and anxieties, especially when it comes to money. The truth is, the government has not announced any new stimulus programs or payments of this size. If there were a real program, it would be widely reported by trusted news outlets and posted on official government websites. So if you come across posts or messages claiming that a $5,200 payment is on the way, be skeptical. Don't share or act on information unless you can verify it from a reliable source. Always double-check with official sources, such as government websites ending in .gov, before getting your hopes up or sharing news with others. Staying informed and cautious is the best way to protect yourself from rumors and scams. You might have heard the buzz about a $5,200 payment being discussed in the news lately, but where did this specific number come from and what does it actually mean for everyday Americans? Let's break down the details behind this headline-grabbing proposal and see what's really going on. The idea is tied to something called the DOGE dividend, which has been making waves in political and financial circles. The DOGE dividend is a proposed government payout, and the number, $5,200, represents the amount that could potentially be sent to eligible Americans if the plan moves forward. This concept was introduced by former President Donald Trump, who has been vocal about his desire to put more money directly into the hands of citizens. Trump has argued that this kind of direct payment could help stimulate the economy and provide relief to families facing rising costs. Central to the proposal is the creation of a new government department known as DOGE. This department would be responsible for overseeing the efficiency of government spending and ensuring that taxpayer dollars are used wisely. DOGE stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. The idea is that by cutting waste and streamlining operations, the government could save billions of dollars each year, money that could then be returned to the public in the form of a dividend. In a surprising twist, the proposal suggests that Elon Musk, the well-known entrepreneur and CEO of companies like Tesla and SpaceX, would be tapped to lead this new department. Supporters believe Musk's reputation for innovation and cost-cutting could bring a fresh perspective to government operations. According to Trump, the Department of Government Efficiency has already identified significant savings for taxpayers. By eliminating unnecessary programs and reducing bureaucratic overhead, the government could free up funds that would otherwise be lost to inefficiency. Trump's vision is to take a portion of these savings and give it back to the American people. The idea is that families could use this money to pay bills, cover unexpected expenses, or simply enjoy a little extra financial breathing room. The centerpiece of the plan is the so-called Doge dividend, a one-time payment of $5,200 to eligible Americans. This payment would be distributed directly, much like the stimulus checks sent out during the pandemic. It's important to note that this would be a one-time payment, not a recurring benefit. The goal is to provide immediate relief and boost consumer spending at a critical time. However, the Doge dividend is still just a proposal at this stage. It has not been enacted into law, and there are many steps that need to happen before any money could actually be sent out. For the plan to become reality, it would need to pass through the legislative process. That means lawmakers would have to debate, amend, and ultimately vote on the proposal. Until Congress approves the Doge dividend, it remains an idea on paper. But the conversation it has sparked about government efficiency and direct payments to citizens is likely to continue, shaping debates in Washington and beyond. Even if the Doge dividend is approved, not everyone would get it. Only certain people would be eligible. You would need to be a taxpayer. You would need to file a tax return showing you earned income. This means many people would not get the payment. Low-income families might not qualify. Senior citizens on fixed incomes might also be left out. There are other challenges too. Some people disagree with the amount of money Doge claims to have saved. They say the $5,000 dividend is not realistic. Congress will need to look at all of this before making a decision. The Doge dividend is just one small piece of a much larger puzzle. When we talk about the US economy, it's easy to focus on the headlines: stimulus checks, tax cuts, or new government programs. But in reality, the economic picture is made up of countless moving parts, each one affecting the others in ways that aren't always obvious at first glance. Understanding how these pieces fit together is key to making sense of what's happening in Washington and how it impacts everyday Americans. Right now, lawmakers in Congress are locked in heated debates over the federal budget. These discussions aren't just about numbers on a page. They're about priorities, values, and the direction the country will take in the years ahead. Every line item in the budget represents a choice: what to fund, what to cut, and who will benefit or bear the cost. The outcome of these budget negotiations will determine how much money is allocated to everything from education and healthcare to defense and infrastructure. It also has a direct impact on the taxes that individuals and businesses pay. For families across the country, these decisions can mean more or less support for schools, roads, and public services, or changes in their take-home pay. For example, increased funding for education could mean smaller class sizes and better resources for students, while more money for healthcare might translate to expanded access to services. On the other hand, cuts to these programs can have real consequences for communities, especially those already struggling to make ends meet. Recently, the House of Representatives passed a new budget plan after weeks of negotiation and political wrangling. This plan sets the stage for how the government will spend its money in the coming year, and it's already sparking debate across the country. One of the most talked about features of this budget is the extension of tax cuts that were first introduced during the Trump administration. Supporters argue that these tax cuts help stimulate economic growth by leaving more money in the hands of individuals and businesses. However, critics point out that the majority of these tax benefits go to wealthy Americans and large corporations, rather than working families. This has fueled ongoing debates about fairness and whether the tax code should do more to support the middle class and those in need. At the same time, the budget includes significant cuts to some government programs. These reductions could mean fewer resources for public schools, less funding for social services, and even the closure of some government offices. For many Americans, these cuts are more than just numbers. They represent real changes in the services and support they rely on. Despite all these changes, one thing the budget does not address is the rapidly growing national debt. The U.S. government continues to borrow money to cover its expenses, and the national debt now stands at record levels. Economists warn that if this trend continues, it could have serious consequences for future generations, including higher interest rates and less flexibility to respond to future crises. Beyond the budget, the U.S. is also grappling with economic challenges on the global stage. Tariffs, taxes on goods imported from other countries, have become a major point of contention in recent years, affecting everything from the price of electronics to the cost of groceries. These tariffs are designed to protect American industries and jobs, but they can also make imported goods more expensive. For businesses that rely on materials or products from overseas, higher costs can mean tough choices, like raising prices, cutting jobs, or even shutting down. For consumers, tariffs often translate into higher prices at the checkout counter. Whether you're buying a new appliance, shopping for clothes, or just picking up groceries, the impact of tariffs can be felt in your wallet. Small businesses, in particular, can struggle to absorb these extra costs, which can lead to higher prices or reduced selection for customers. With all these challenges, it's important to set realistic expectations. Despite rumors and speculation, there are no $5,200 stimulus checks on the way. While ideas like the Doge dividend capture the public's imagination, they remain just that, ideas, until they receive the necessary support and approval from Congress. The process of turning a proposal into law is long and complex, involving debate, negotiation, and compromise. Until Congress acts, programs like the Doge dividend remain on the drawing board, not in Americans' bank accounts. In the end, the government's budget and economic policies will shape the lives of millions of Americans in the years to come. From the taxes we pay to the services we receive, these decisions affect every community, every business, and every family. Staying informed and engaged is the first step to understanding and influencing the future of our economy.